In life, you know, if you're going to get something done, you got to be on a mission, especially when you're going to build. Stay tuned for this one, everybody. We've got an expert. Giddy up. Welcome, everyone, to the Your Little Castle Show. This is where I talk about how lucky I am to get to talk to experts from around our region, some come from around the world, to talk to us about what they're on a mission for. And we have somebody who is on a mission. They named their company as such, and it's neat to see people who have that determination. They've decided they're going to accomplish something. They're going after it, and it's going to make a difference. So, Mission Contracting and Remodeling. We have the owner in the building here, John Dolence. Started this 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And decided, hey man, I can do this. And I said, man, you're fairly young. We won't say his age, but he's got 10 years of experience in this already. I'm like, okay, he's got to be at least his mid-30s. I'll let you guess later. You can figure that out. But he knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing. Got great work with a show he does. But you're on a mission.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So our goal is to serve the St. Louis area, but ultimately be able to go do ministry as well, overseas, even domestically. But we know that it comes from serving where you're at. So that's our big thing, is like serving locally, providing good service here, and then being able to take the team and the skills and the assets that we have here, the network, and do missions elsewhere. So
there you have it, everybody. So like I said, if you're on there's so many people say, what are you doing? Man, I'm on a mission. And they're just talking about getting to the grocery store or something like that. But they're still on a mission. And this mission our guest here has today, he is really excited because he's going to make a mission on a global level here. Yeah. Focusing, I like how you say you're focusing St. Louis, John, because you always got to help the places you're living in at first, but to take it there. With that, we're on a mission too, if you might have figured out, but we have some great support. So Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle, right? And that little castle is possible that John was helping with your mission. And so we're going to put up here on the wall his website, social media. He's got some great reviews. And now I want to learn a little bit more about the mission. I might start using that on our show. The credit. It goes back to our guest, John, who's on Mission Contracting and Remodeling. With that, tell me, 10 years ago, what led you to decided this is what you wanted to do?
I mean, it started since I was a kid. I always loved working, building with stuff. And so I was, working for Sky Zone, running their trampoline park, and I just love people. I love working with people. I'm a talker, so I'll talk your ear off. And so mixing those two together, I think is something that is important in this industry, is to really, I care about people. I care about, serving them. And so that was a big thing for me, was I want to do that, but on a scale that we can, wherever you go, whether it's overseas, here locally, the trades, the skills that you learn in this can be used anywhere. And so that was really important to me. And I was like, if I want to do something, I felt like that was what God was putting on my heart to start, was a hands-on, business of some kind. And then that's where Mission Contracting kind of formed, was just out of that desire to serve people, but at the same time have something that I could take anywhere across the world. And you're in the bush of Africa, and knowing how to build something and knowing how to do that is very useful, so that's where it kind of came, the passion. So
yeah, I guess that's the truth. If you're going to be anywhere, if there's anything you can do to contribute. I was watching some video somewhere on YouTube or something recently, and the guy says, if you're going to go to anywhere and you're going to be able to have an impact, you're going to have, if you can construct, if you can build,
right,
they're going to have a use for you, because everybody needs a place to live, need a place to do business, and make the world go around. And that's the number one most effective way to help make a little bit of an impact on our planet. So you decided to get into this. Now, I like the connection you made there, because if you're in a facility like those, what was the name of the place again that you were working at?
Sky Zone.
Sky Zone. Yeah, Sky Zone is pretty innovative. Yeah. But yeah, talk about, there's some heavy duty construction that went on there to put that place together, and a lot of it helps you understand engineering, I guess, if nothing else, because how does these things, especially when you have people that, how do they bounce?
It's a lot of weight.
And then and you're a hero, because a lot of the communication you have there is with the parents, of course, but also the little kiddos. You got to keep them under control too.
Yeah.
And so you're developing some intercommunicational skills as well. And that helps as a business owner because you're going to deal with customers
all the time. Yeah.
and you're going to make sure that they're happy all the time as well.
Yeah.
Did you have an aptitude as a kid? You were to go back before that. You're saying as a kid you liked to construct and build things.
Yeah.
Is that where this came
from?
Initially?
I was homeschooled, and it's funny. I was getting my hair cut yesterday for this show because I was like, I gotta look
right.
good.
You look good.
And as I was sitting there, I'm small, talking with them, and I was telling them about being homeschooled, and I told her, I was like, my brother was into the history, and I had sisters that were into different books and all the different types of reading out there, and for me it was like, give me the tractor manual, give me the manual on a microwave or whatever. Like, that was what I was drawn toward, was those types of things. And so there was always that, how does the wheels spin, gears work, like all of that was in my mind. And I owned a lawn care and landscaping company. I started that when I was 15.
Okay.
And we opened the LLC, and it was under my mom's name because I wasn't even old enough. So
right.
it was always something that I enjoyed doing. And so it was always manual labor. And then Sky Zone came up because I was like, I want to be a little bit more on the front lines of customer service. And my goal when I worked there was to, whoever comes through that door, it's like, I want them to have a smile on their face at the end of it. Some people were easy to do that with, and then some people, you kind of had to get through some of those barriers. They were struggling with stuff or whatever, and it was just like, man, I want to be able to speak into their lives and put a smile on their face and all of that. So that was, a desire there. So yeah, mixing those two, I think that's what's been fun in this industry. This industry is a very rugged, like, I was just talking to my ops manager this morning about, it's a lot of it's like, who can have the biggest chest in these games, like between contractors or subcontractors. And for me, it's like, I ultimately, I want to build a relationship with the people I work with, and I want them to, they might come at me in a certain way, but it's like, I want to be able to just hear who they are, speak into their life, and I want to make that personal connection. And so that's a big thing with our company, is really, you're talking about the kids. It's like, we sit there and we talk to our customers' kids, just, you know what I mean? Like, we're not just there to do the job. It's like, we build relationships with the kids, with their dogs, with everybody. It's like, it's part of what we do. So
I think we might set a record here, but 3 great points were made there. So I got my pencil out. Write this down if you can keep up. Your first one, we found somebody who actually does read the instruction manuals. And he did that because he enjoyed learning about the mechanics and how these things function. Number 2, you like to really communicate well with people. That's important. And if you're not going to communicate, that's what I've got my master's degree in. Well, it took me a long time to pay for that. Communication, right? Media communications, business communication, mass communication, all that stuff is very important, but understand how to interconnect with people, because if they don't understand what you're talking about, it doesn't matter how good you are at whatever, ultimately it will fail. And the third one there is that you're on a mission. Yeah. And you're here to do something and get it done. We touched on it together. When you put all 3 of those together, you kind of got a nice mix. I can see why you're getting the reviews you got, the success you got, the great work that you put together here too. So I'm excited. Let's keep going here. But that's the first time. Write down 3 things at once if you can write that fast, everybody. I think great points that John made here. What about this ultimately fuels your passion? Obviously, this is something that you wake up every day and you're on a mission. And so what is it that helps you to keep going? Is it accomplishing those goals, I guess?
Yeah, it's hitting the goals. It's ultimately to, take the vision that we have, what we feel God's put on our hearts to serve globally. That's a big drive. But I would say what gets me out every day is serving the people that we're working with right now, which my team's the big one for me. That's the daily, I have customers, I build relationships with them, but my team's the team that I face every single day, and they're a huge part of what I choose to invest my time into, because if I invest my time into my team, then they're ultimately going to deliver a better, experience for my customers. And so I love my customers, I pour into my customers, but daily I enjoy seeing my team, I enjoy connecting with my team, and developing my team is really important to me. So that is what my drive, I would say, is just watching my team come in, one person, mature, grow, lead their homes well, time management, like all of that, and seeing their skills improve and making that connection with them and watching them develop. and then go out and, serve our community the way they do. It's fun to be a part of that. It's fun to, speak into their lives and encourage them. And so my team, I think, is really what drives me more than anything.
So now we've got a fourth and a fifth one, everybody. This is going to go on. Developing that team, helping other people to develop, and developing to turn into where they're on a mission with you,
exactly.
Whatever their mission might be.
Yeah.
But we have 5 key points there already that we've talked about. So I really like what you're talking about and how you're impacting our little planet. I'm going to go over and jump into some of what we found about you. If you do a Google search on the interwebs, you got a bunch of reviews on your Google. We'll put this up on the TV wall number 1. And you got a bunch of reviews on your Facebook, too. I'm just going to grab a couple off the Google. All 5-star. And let's scroll down here and see. Repeat customers, great company, fast response, reliable, exceptional quality, small repairs. I'm going to put this so you guys can actually read it now. So there you go. You can play along with me. Or a major remodel. We've had both. Honest, fair price, and warrant the work, no matter the cause. Definitely recommend. Mike Ace. How's that make you feel?
I love the repeat customers are a big one for us, but it does. It's fun to read those reviews and, share them with the team, and, some of my team getting named in them. And it's a good feeling to know that these people are valued, customers of ours, and they're complimenting on what we're doing, and we ultimately made an impact in their lives. So yeah, it's fun.
Well, that's the key to success, and it's just like I say, if you don't believe in a higher power or whatever, but there's at least a system that you need to follow on our little planet. It starts off with all the same fundamentals: do what's right, integrity, what you do when people aren't watching, make sure that you're always giving good quality, encourage and help others, and then life becomes a little easier for you.
Right.
Isn't that what you want anyway? So why wouldn't you? Here's the steps to get there. Is that kind of?
That's very similar. Like it is what I, again, was talking to someone the other day about, and I was like, in this world and having these, contractors that we're always talking to, it's like you kind of face this, it goes with customers too, where it's like I ultimately want to respond with good character, good integrity, and in that, they will normally come full circle and treat you the same. And it's one of those things where it's like I want to, even if I'm being, yelled at by another contractor or something, it's like I want this contracting, industry to hear the name Mission Contracting and be like, oh, those guys operate different. They actually care about the people they work with, not just their customers, but the other contractors they work with. Like they want to, build partnerships, not short-term little relationships. And I just want our name to be known as, good character, good integrity, not to sell jobs, but ultimately to impact, the contracting world and city. So.
Well said, and that's what makes the world go round. So it's great tips we have here. There's so many going on right there, everybody. Just rewatch the whole show here, and even snag some of it if you need to, because we're here to encourage and help others. With that, we've got a lot of fun stuff in the community. You talked about the fact you do support Guns and Hoses and some family members, and you had a fallen family member, so prayers to them. And thank them for their service. We'll see them again on the other side, I believe. And with that, you had somebody you noticed in one of the videos. I said, here's an option for all the different charity stuff that we've had some association with. And you go, oh, yeah, I know that young lady. So you can talk about that here if you want to. But I'm going to put this up here, and we'll be back here in just a minute showing you a little bit of what we do to get involved with our community here. Stay tuned.
Families they left behind, invest in the safety of those who continue to serve, and commit ourselves to the values they embody. May we never forget their sacrifice, and may their example inspire us tonight and always. To all first responders, have each other's backs, whether red or blue. To my brothers and sisters in blue, if you can't be safe, be dangerous. And to the heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice, legends never die, and you will never be forgotten. Thank you.
The ringing of the bell to my left symbolizes the final alarm for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. To those who have laid down their lives out of love to their communities. We've sounded it 5 times. each chime honoring a remarkable individual who gave so much to this community. Paramedic Michael Clark, Chief Gary Moore, Firefighter Chevy Gall, Firefighter Lee Krause, and Officer Henry Franklin. Now as we prepare to finish our traditional 10 count, we ring the bell 5 more times in a heart.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So there you have it. Lots of fun. We get to partake in the community. My good friends there, Karen Green. Karen Cares, if you check out her organization, but she's big in supporting Backstoppers, Police, Fire, and Guns and Hoses, which is a lot of fun. And you said you knew the young lady that was there ringing the bell.
Yeah, Elizabeth. So that was my brother-in-law, Justin Sparks. That is his sister, and Blake Snyder was her husband that passed away in the line of duty. And it was shortly before I came into the family, but you know they've done a lot with them. And my brother-in-law was still he was in the service, still on the St. Louis SWAT team and all of that. And then he became state representative, and now he's working for Homeland Security. So yeah, the police and all that's very important to us.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, they don't, it's hard to realize until you've been through it. Like I said, I was there in a bad accident, and everybody collected, whatever, showed up to keep me alive. And if it weren't for them, I would not be here today. So appreciate the police, fire, EMTs, nurses, doctors, fire and police. Doing a great job. So give me a breakdown, if you would. Give me a cost analysis. There's a lot of different ways you can go about getting a house remodeled.
Right.
All the way from doing it yourself. In some cases, you can dabble with some of that. I made our slider wall up there. That's a barn door. Some people look at it like, you did that yourself? I'm like, I have a little bit of a training, a little background with that. If you don't, that's a big 8x10 something. But otherwise, you start getting into plumbing and electrical.
Yeah.
Here's why should somebody definitely give me the cost analysis. If you do this right, you make your house worth more.
Right.
You mess it up, you got to do it over.
Right.
And then you either leave it in a mess, you say, oh, come in, somebody else take this, and we'll take $20,000 off to let you fix it yourself, or what do you recommend?
Yeah, so I mean, we specialize in interior remodeling is what we focus on, and there is that aspect of, you do it wrong, and then you got to hire somebody to come back in and tear it all out and fix it. It ends up costing you more money in the long run, or the person behind you that. And so, it is important to make sure that you have the right people trained right. We've gone through different trainings as a team. I know you asked a second ago about certifications, and we've worked with Schluter, which is the waterproofing membrane that goes behind tile showers. We've gone through their trainings, and so it's making sure that you have a team that's trained and knows how to install what they're installing. And we're quick to, if it's not something that we can do, we have contractors that we work with, that we bring in, that we know, that we've worked with for several years. We're not a company that says, oh, we have a roofer, and we're going to go, the yellow pages, which people use those anymore, and find them. It's like, when we say we have somebody that we can trust, and that we know that, it's going to take care of your house the same we would. And so when you break down the cost and you look at it, it is important to make sure that, you're bringing the value of your home up. The big one for me is also, like, it's your home. Like, do what you'd want to do to it because you're living in it. Finishing your basement, redoing your kitchen. I would encourage, don't wait until you're ready to move out to do all these things. Like, do them while you're living there, so you can actually enjoy them. Because we have done remodels where it's like we're ready to move out, and it's like, now we're going to remodel, and then we remodel it, and they're like, oh, I want it, and it's like, remodel it, live in it, and then at the end of the day, you bring your value of the home up and be able to have a better product to sell at the end of the day.
And ultimately, there's not enough YouTube videos out there to follow and figure out all the stuff, because that's why you have to have the expertise. And it comes from 5, 10, 15, 20 years of experience from the people that you're bringing in to do these things.
And being young in the industry, I learned real quick, like, I wanted to pull from a lot of people. And I mean, it's never going to be something I turn off on learning from people. I'm always going to be developing, always going to be growing, always going to be learning. But it was something that it's like I was very quick to know what we were good at and know what we weren't good at, and I'm very open and honest with that with my customers. But at the same time, building a network of people that I can pull from, so at the end of the day we can deliver that seamless install. But it has come from, if I don't have the 5, 10, 20 years of experience, I have a network of people, whether they're on my team and they're a team member of mine that I've hired, or it's just a network of people, other business owners that I can reach out to, and they help me, navigate the reins, because I can't, it's something that it's like, it takes a team to get things done. So
there you go. Number 6 or 7 or 12 or 15 takes a team to get things done. And we talked about building the team. Now you talked about you have to have that team to get these things done too. So tell me, why should somebody choose you? You've got a lot of expertise here, but tell me what you think it is that separates you from the rest.
I mean, the big one is that ultimately our mission is it doesn't all just come into us. We do take a portion of what we do and put it into, non-profit work. We do disaster relief organizations we work with, that we go and do cleanups, hurricanes, tornadoes. We were in Georgia after the hurricane about a year ago, doing some cleanup. Like, we just, when the tornadoes came through here in St. Louis, we did stuff. So at the end of the day, it's like, not only are you going to get a service, you're going to get the bathroom remodeled that you want remodeled, but you're also, the money you're spending is going to, be going toward a team that has a vision and a dream to help people.
And by the way, does great work that sets himself apart. I'm going to put up on the wall here, because I think we need to brag about you a little bit. If you look at some of the work that's been done here, this is, talk about on a mission. There is a lot to be said for the quality of what you're putting together for people. You can see, like, these are like Taj Mahal style or big conference rooms. Look at the showers and bathrooms. Look at the glass. Holy cow. Yeah, what hotel was this? I mean, This looks like it's you're really taking care of your customers and giving them a good quality that's going to improve the value of their house, because how often do people they want to, their most valuable asset is the house, and so you've got all the way down to the basement and every structure in between. And I was just glancing through those quickly because I wanted to show off some of what John has done with the work that they've put together. With regard to certifications, and there's some training you take for the specific materials you use and installations you do, but you also, permitting is a big thing, insurance, properly bonded and insured. Those are all important things, you cover all that too.
Yeah, it's definitely something that, having that is an important asset to, having a company come in and do your jobs. It's like you want to make sure that, because the reality is mistakes can happen, accidents can happen, and our track record's been amazing not to have that. But I mean, the same way we're working with power tools, accidents can happen with your team. Accidents can happen. A water line breaks. So, we've never called in on our insurance, which is awesome. But to know that that's there if something does happen, like we were just talking, your car accident, it's like things happen, and that's why it's called an accident. It's not planned. It happens. So it's like you gotta have that insurance if it is there. So yeah, making sure we're licensed, permitted, and all of that is a very important aspect. And it also keeps you in line with making sure that things are done, to the standards they need to.
Well, great work and quality and all of those things are important, but somebody with integrity like you bring to the table too is important. With that also, I think there's some benefits people gain by working with a company who is a smaller business. How many people do you have working with you? And then you've got contractors you extend that to, but you've got kind of a tight-knit crew.
We have a six-man crew. I can't remember if that includes myself right now. I just hired a couple people, but yeah, we try to run 2-man crews, and we're running 3 crews as of right now, and then myself. And so we have our ops manager that oversees those crews, and then I run the sales and the vision of the company and all of that, and my wife helps out with the back end of stuff. But yeah, it's a tight-knit company. I'm very selective on who we bring in and who we hire. In my interviews with my team, I just went through this process with them, but I spend more time talking about our values and who we are and what I would expect from them, less than them talking, if that makes sense. Like I hear them, I read their resumes, I see their qualifications, but it's like I want to make sure that the people I bring on my team carry, like you were saying, like this, can partner with your vision and carry that out. And so it's like if they come and they realize that, the way we take the time to talk to the customers, respect the customers, if they're going to be the guys that are in and out and they just want to clock in, they want to clock out, like those aren't the guys that I'm really looking for. And so as my interviews with my team I share our vision, I share our mission and our character and our values. And if they fit into that category, when I throw them a job offer, they know, like, do I want to work for these guys that, they carry high integrity, they carry good character. And the reality is there's a lot of guys in this industry that don't. And I want to make sure that the guys that I say, here, do you want a job, they honor that and respect that.
Stay tuned for more, everybody.